What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Hazy May, and I'm here with a story time. This is the third story time on my channel. If you watch my first story time, then you know I start with someone and I don't do glasses. But yeah, I need y'all to stay tuned. Listen to this story and tell me if I'm wrong or not. Even though I know I'm not wrong, because if my mama say I'm not wrong, I'm not wrong. So stay tuned. Listen to the story time about how me and my 7-year best friend fell out. Judge mama. Anyway, I need y'all to stay tuned, listen to my story, and tell me if I'm wrong or not. Subscribe and hear a story about how I fell out with my best friend of 7 years. Okay, before we get into the story, I need y'all to smack that red button till it ain't red and shake the bell on the side so you get notified every time I upload a video. I'm about to do Vlogtober. As soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm so close. If 80 people watch this video and subscribe, I will hit 1K subscribers. I love y'all so much. So yeah, this story is kind of old. It happened in the beginning of this year, so January of 2021. So the tea's still hot, but it's just irrelevant at this point. That's why it's okay for me to tell the story, because not like the friendship will be rekindled or anything. So let's get into the story. We're gonna start with a cast. So there's me, of course, and then you have birthday girl, who is the best friend that we're discussing. We're gonna call her Blair the birthday girl. We got the mutual friend, so we're gonna call her Mary the mutual friend. And then any other people, I kind of just add them in as we go. So I done pulled out the old busted phone. You can't even. I pulled out my old busted phone for receipts. As many receipts as I could get, because a lot of this happened over voice text, but the receipts that I can find, I'm gonna add them for y'all. So around this time last year, she was discussing that she wanted to take a trip for her birthday. Now, we all got the same profession. Me, Blair, and Mary, we all met because of our job. So we planned things out far in advance. I'm probably gonna leave that Stella alone. I had started without y'all. The bottle about halfway gone, and it got me burping, so I think I'm gonna leave Stella alone. But yeah, so we planned far in advance. So around this time last year, she's like, hey, I want to take a trip for my birthday, blah blah blah. Cool. So November of last year, we started making payments for like the rental car, the Airbnb, etc, etc. Everything's fine, no issues, everybody's paid. And then she makes like a group chat of all the people who are officially going, because you know, when you start planning a trip with black folk, it'd be 50 people, and then when it's time to start making payments, it'd be 5. So once payments start being made, that's when she made a group chat of all the people who were going on a trip. Now everybody in the trip introduces themselves, we start exchanging Instagrams, blah blah blah. We sending money in November. We sending money for the rental, the Airbnb. I forget how many people it was supposed to be, but it wasn't really expensive at all. So we send the money for the Airbnb around November. The trip is in January. We start putting in leave, because this is around COVID time. So you got to put in leave. Like, it's a lot more steps to put your leave in. In between November and January, there's now 2 group chats. The group chat that me, Blair, and Mary always have, like our thing on the side, and then the trip chat. So the trip chat is really kind of quiet if it's not like things to do. If we send in like suggestions on things to do in the area that we're going to be in, or updates on the trip. About 3 days before the trip, Blair sends itinerary for, you know, the time that we're there. It's only like a weekend trip, so it's quick. So she sends the itinerary, everybody's reading it and talking about like who gets in at what time, what people are going to do in between the different people landing. So I'm reading and I see more names than there are people in the chat. So then one of the names stuck out to me because it's her ex. We can call him Eric. So Eric is listed as pick up Eric and whoever else lands at the same time. Me and Eric, we're not really, you know. So little backstory. Me, Blair, and Mary became friends in 2014. I was single. Mary, also single. Blair had a man. This man is Eric. Eric ends up doing some stupid shit, and Blair gets her get backs with my brother that she met through me. Basically, Eric blames me for introducing them. Like, she wouldn't have got no get backs if you didn't introduce her to your brother. Since then, they broke up. Like, they're not together. That ended in like 2018, I think. And it was cordial, so we don't really hear his name much. Whatever. So seeing his name on the itinerary kind of threw me because the chat is all females and we don't even hear about this man that often. So I'm like, why would he be going on this trip? But anyway, I comment like, so we just not gonna mention Eric being on here? She kind of ignores me, and then somebody else in the chat was like, yeah, I seen it, but I wasn't gonna say nothing, ha ha ha. Like, everybody laughs it off. So I want to say this is when she responded like, I never said it was a girls trip. I'm like, well, the whole chat is females, so if everybody that's going on the trip is in this chat and they're all girls, why would I assume anything else? But I'm like, okay. So then I asked like, what's the sleeping arrangements looking like? Because the math wasn't mathing with the amount of females that we had, plus now her dude, because you could only assume that her and her ex is going to sleep in the same room, and then the rest of us have to split the remaining sleeping areas, right? So I'm asking like, okay, what's the sleeping arrangements looking like? Let me go get the specifics because I want to be, you know, completely accurate with my storytelling. Okay, here we go. Let's rewind this. She sends the itinerary as a PDF and it says 3 days until takeoff. This isn't set in stone, just wanted to give y'all a general idea. I plan to stay inside because from the research I did, there's still quite a few things that are closed due to Rona. And everybody's responding. I just said, whew, this took my anxiety from an 8 to a 2. Because it was really, you know, mapped out. So everybody's chopping it up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even the one who brought, see, this is why I'm glad I brought the receipts. I'm not even the one who brought up the fact that Eric was on there. Somebody else did and said, so we're just going to ignore day 1, 10:30 a.m. and put the eyes. And Mary commented and was like, you in her business, don't do that, LMAO. Hey, Eric. Somebody else said, LMAO, I be on the same stuff, so I just kept reading. Blah, blah, blah. I sent a laughing emoji with like the emoji that's like this. She said, she didn't say nothing back. She responded to the other people who was laughing, so she didn't mention me saying anything. Somebody else said, man, Eric is cool in my book, but now my husband finna be grilling me because I said it was an all girls trip. Somebody else said that, not me. Somebody responded to that person and was like, I don't even know who these people are. I didn't save none of their numbers, so their names aren't really important to the story. One person said, don't post him. And Blair said, I told everyone it's not a girls trip. Y'all all ain't want to listen. It's going to be like 4 guys. And then to the whole don't post him, she said, rookie move. So somebody sent a screenshot of Blair saying that the guys ain't coming. And she said, sis, I come with receipts. Oh, well, he's just going to be big mad, I guess. And Blair said no guys was coming in first because they was all scared no other guys was gonna be there. I said, honey, because my husband sure was down, and I'm like, we can go back another time because this is a girls trip. Then I said 4 guys, they in this chat. I said, I'm confused. Blair said, but I advertised it as not a girls trip. So then she sends some screenshot, which I don't know what that got to do with anything, because it's a chat that she made with the guys without us in it, talking to them about the trip. So that didn't prove anything. And she said, got my receipt too, boo-boo. And the girl said, yeah, but my receipt is the newer date and time. And Mary said, Blair, she right, boo. So I said, you advertising to them as not a girls trip. The niggas is getting sprinkled in 3 days prior. She said, nah, I never once said no men, LOL. The original message thread was 5 guys. Y'all lost. Give it up, LOL. I said, this is when I start asking what's the sleeping arrangements, because not only is it now all the girls in this chat plus Eric and now 4 other dudes. Like, I was confused. So I'm like, what's the sleeping arrangements? 5 bedrooms and 6 beds and 9 people listed on the itinerary. No response. So then I said, how I'm gonna vlog and snap freely and not show 4 penis people? This is deep. And then somebody ha-ha that. Somebody responded and said, I'm a vlogger and I do it all the time. Somebody else responded and was like, should we give them a makeover? Blah, blah, blah. Mary says, I'm glad I don't have no husbands and whatnot, because this is a mess. Mary said, y'all sound worried. It'll be okay. I'm sure they're cool. I said, I'm not even worried, just perturbed, because this info was top secret clearance, need to know until now. Like, this is, I'm not mad. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck is going on at this point. Mary said, technically it don't matter who coming because we all there for her. I said, but sleeping arrangements, ? 5 females, 4 dudes, 6 beds. Like, is nobody else seeing what I'm seeing? Somebody responded and said 6 females. I'm riding standby, so not sure when I'm landing. So more people, like, it's just a lot of people, and the Airbnb doesn't have a lot of space. Like, it's, you know, so I don't know who this is responding to me, but they said the previous person just didn't count correctly, but the males in the equation is neither a matter either way, as they won't be in the same Airbnb. If going by the itinerary that sent last night, there clearly states 8 females there alone, so all beds will be filled with women. It's fine. I'm sure we all know our friend better than to have even thought there would be 6 beds in a mix of guys. Come on. I don't know who that is, but that was her response to me asking about the sleeping arrangements. All that clearly blah blah blah, being a little smart, it was already starting to get on my nerves. So I left that chat and started messaging Blair in our private chat that we always have. In between, old girl responding to me in the trip chat, and now I had texted them like, hey, I don't need a ride from the airport. Like, y'all don't have to come back to the airport to pick me up. I'll meet y'all at the Airbnb. So coincidentally, the trip was where my brother lives now. So I hit my brother up like, hey, remember I told you I was coming to your area, but I couldn't see you because it was a girls trip. Well, now it's not a girls trip, so let's link up in between the time that, you know, the other people land. We could go do some of the things that I wanted to do that wasn't on the itinerary. So I hit my brother up. He like, bet, I'll pick you up. We'll go do whatever, and then I'll drop you off. Now, my plan was for him to drop me off while they were still at the airport picking up the last group of people. So I hit the chat. I'm like, hey, I don't need a ride. Whatever. Blair hits me in the chat with me, her, and Mary, and was like, hey, how are you getting to the Airbnb? This is in the chat. I said, what you mean? You gave me the address already. She said, yeah, I know. I'm saying, are you getting an Uber or are you getting dropped off? I said, oh, I'm getting dropped off. She said, it's dropping you off. I said, yeah, he has no intention on staying or being around anyone. Mary says, y'all on good terms or nah? Blair says, Hezia, you don't feel that's being messy? And no, Mary, but if y'all on good terms, it's hard trying to keep these names together, y'all, because the names are, I'm reading something that says the actual names. I'm trying to put the fake name in. She said, y'all on good terms, Blair? Or nah? Blair said, Haja, you don't feel that's being messy? And no, Mary, but if Eric wasn't present, it wouldn't be a problem. I said, no, I don't think it's being messy because he won't see anybody and no one will see him. I said, if it makes you uncomfortable though, I can get an Uber. I was like, it's simple, but to my knowledge, y'all weren't on bad terms. She said, but Haja, you know he has beef with someone that will be there. You don't know what could happen, and even if he doesn't see anyone, the fact that it will be known that he dropped you off is going to be beef with you and Eric. I'm like, Blair, how is it going to be known that he dropped me off? I literally could have just said I was getting an Uber, but I didn't because no one will see him, hear his name, or nothing. I said, again, I can get an Uber. That's not a problem. I didn't think it mattered who dropped me off if no one knows him, sees him, or hears his name. And then it turns into audio messaging. But, yeah, so the issue is me seeing him, or is the issue, I couldn't understand what the issue was. So if I'm spending time with him while y'all are out doing whatever, waiting for the last group of people to come, and then he drops me off at the Airbnb while y'all are not there, nobody knows, like, what? So it wasn't making sense to me. So she's like, it's just going to be messy and this is going to give Eric a reason to cuss you out and blah, blah, blah. Hold up. First off, if we being real, Eric is the same size as me. I'm 2-some. We could do something. I'd put that man on his neck. Had it come to that. Second, what is the problem? If you and Eric not on bad terms, not Eric, if you and my brother not on bad terms, my brother's not going to see anybody there because he's going to drop me off while y'all are at the airport. Am I just not supposed to see my brother while I'm there? Like, it's not a girls trip. So I wasn't understanding. And mind you, I did say, oh yeah, I'm going to go see my brother now since the energy is being weird and there's a bunch of men going now. So yeah, I'm going to see my brother for the hour and some change or however long and go do the other activity that wasn't on the itinerary that I suggested. So yeah, all in all, she starts like hinting that it'd be better if I didn't come. And then she just flat out said, you probably just shouldn't come. Okay, save my leave days. I always get trip insurance because I'm active duty and Uncle Sam could just be like, nah girl, you're not going. So trip insurance, I could get my flight credit. Called the activities that we had already prepaid for, got my money back for that. So I'm just like, okay, that's cool. I understand. Enjoy your trip. Just send me my portion of the Airbnb and the rental money back. She's like, well, it's going to come out of my pocket if I have to send you money back. Okay. I'm like, I shouldn't have to let my money stay there if I'm not there. Why would I be paying for a trip that I'm uninvited to? You feel me? So she sends it back and I'm like, okay, enjoy your trip, you know, whatevs. Cause I'm upset, but I'm not like on some, oh, we not talking no more and we beefed out type time. I'm just on some, this was weird and we'll talk about it after the trip, maybe. So she sends me the money back and I'm like telling her, you know, enjoy your trip, blah, 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 wish you best, happy birthday. She's like, oh, I can't enjoy my trip. You're ruining it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, well, girl, keep half of it as your birthday gift. And because the money is already spent in my head. The money's gone. So getting it back doesn't really, you know, it's great, but whatever. So I'm like, keep half as your birthday gift. Sends the money and then I'm blocked. Just like that. So the trip happens. I'm blocked on Instagram. And then that was just that. Like, we literally haven't talked since then. Mary has attempted to, like, you know, fill in and kind of mediate or whatever. But I'm learning to let people go when it's time to let people go. And I think this was just, we had plateaued and maybe this was just the end of it. But I forgot to tell y'all, she started throwing shots like, yeah, because you introduced me to such and such and this never would have happened. And basically like it was my fault that whatever happened between her and my brother happened, and it was real shady, and like she had been holding on to that since 2015 when all of that happened. And I've seen her since then. We talk all the time. Like it was real, like you've been holding on to this and you just finally letting it out. But all in all, we haven't talked since. On my end, it's really still no bad blood. I just don't care. I have no desire to rekindle the friendship. That's why I'm making this video, because it's just a interesting story that y'all can comment below. Tell me if you feel like I was wrong for getting picked up from the airport by my brother, going to go spend time with him, and then getting dropped off while they weren't there. So even though nobody would see him, it was still a big... Comment below. Let me know if you feel I was wrong. But it really doesn't matter, because my mama said I'm not wrong. So if my mama said I'm not wrong, then I'm not wrong. And the friendship is dead. So it's really pointless. But a good conversation topic, you know, because sometimes communication is hard for some people. So let's talk about it in the comments. Anyway, 7 years of friendship gone 3 days prior to a trip, uninvited, and it just is what it is. I was able to get all my money back. I used that flight credit to go to Houston for my husband's birthday, and it just, yeah, people at work was like, oh, how was your trip? I'm like, I didn't go. And yeah, she like unfollowed me on all the social media. And I guess y'all notice that's when it's beef, when it's real in these streets and you just not fooling with somebody when you unfollow them. But genuinely, I don't care. I don't have no bad blood towards that girl. I'm glad she was able to get that off her chest. If she felt like it was my fault that her and my brother got connected, there's so many other pieces that I could add, but it's really irrelevant. Comment below. Let me know if I was wrong, even though we know I'm not. Let me know if you fell out with a best friend before. This is a learning lesson to stop calling everybody your best friend. Just because y'all been friends for a long time does not make that your best friend. Now, there are different qualifications. Everybody finds a best friend or qualifies somebody as a best friend for different reasons. And for a while, she did, you know, play a role, an important role in my life. But sometimes you outgrow people and you just got to leave that where it's at, you know? Anyway, thanks for tuning in for my story time. Y'all be blessed. I'm going to hopefully get another story time up here soon, because I always keep the receipts, baby. I got text messages from the 99 and the 2000 in case you ever want to say that I'm lying about something. I keep the receipts on deck. So I probably got some more story times coming for y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Give this video a... Stella got me. It ain't even Stella. I'm just extra. But give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe. And I will see y'all in my next video.